This is Chief Education Officer Bill Olson, and welcome to another School District Update. It's always enjoyable to get together with you to talk to you about the great things that are happening in the Merrimack School District. We're very proud of our students and our staff, and hope you're very proud of them also, because every single day, great things are being accomplished. I'm just going to mention just a few of them, just a very few of them today, just to let you know some of the latest developments. First of all, from Matthew Gage, who is the advisor to the robotics team at Merrimack High School. Merrimack High School has a robotics team that has really distinguished itself in local, regional, and national competition. Matthew has informed me that the robot that has been designed by the robotics team is currently considered the second best robot in New Hampshire, the 10th best in New England, and the 92nd best robot in the United States. When you think that there are over 13,000 school districts in this nation, and the distinguishing robot and robotics team that Merrimack possesses, ranking them as second in the state, 10th in New England, and 92nd in the entire nation. That is extraordinary. So congratulations to Matthew Gage, the advisor, and to all of our students involved in the robotics program. So, we're talking about everything from student accomplishments in areas such as robotics to something as basic and simple but as engaging and important as the Family Engagement Night at Reed's Ferry that has taken place recently. They had a bingo night for the members of the RFS community, and over 300 people attended. That contributes greatly to the sense of community, the sense of belonging to that school, and really creates a cohesive school district. So congratulations to Bonnie Pancho, Laura Livy, the principal and assistant principal, and the staff at the RFS Elementary School, and all of the parents in the RFS community. We're very proud of you for creating that strong sense of community. Great things continue to happen at the middle school with the Theater Arts Club. The Middle School Drama Club, Middle School Theater Arts Club, had two recent sold-out performances of Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. That was recently conducted. We want to thank the directors, Mr. Karen and Mrs. Thompson. It was one of the best musical productions that the middle school has seen in a number of years, and congratulations to the entire cast. It's very important for theater arts to be considered as a really important topic, content area, program for students to pursue. There is much to be learned in participating in theater arts in terms of collaboration, cooperation, respect, timing, voice articulation, song, just collaboration in general. I know I enjoyed being in theater arts along with sports while I was in high school and public schools in Massachusetts. It's something that remains with you for your entire life. And you remember the who, what, when, where, and why of a production, what went right, what might have gone wrong, but that you recovered from quickly. It's really a microcosm of life in terms of how to proceed through life, sometimes with things going very well, but sometimes with obstacles. In plays and theater arts productions, sometimes there are a few miscues, whether it be involving music, whether it be involving missed lines, missed positioning on stage, but people learn how to recover. They learn how to recover and move on. And so it's much more than just being on stage. It's a real lesson in life. I want to congratulate also some of our students in some of our biology classes at Merrimack High School. Students in Dr. Gonzalez's biology class and Ms. Jones' oceanology class took a recent field trip to the New England Aquarium to get up close and a little bit more personal in studying the aquatic ecosystems and food webs and the food chain in terms of the studying of aquatics, sea life in general. There's nothing like taking a field trip from time to time that allows a student to gain more relevance and understand more relevance of what they're learning in the classroom. Because, curriculum is all about meeting the needs of students, but it has to be rigorous in nature, challenging students all the time, every day, but it also has to be relevant. How many times have we said as students in life, why are we learning this? Why are we doing this? It's important to have our students understand the relevance of what they're learning to real life. Not only what they're doing currently, but what they might be doing in the future. And so congratulations to our staff members. In addition to the trip to the aquarium, Ms. Kohler's toxins and biology classes toured the new Nashua wastewater treatment facility, not quite as, probably as pleasing as the aquarium. Nevertheless, an important ecosystem in life, touring the wastewater treatment facility, understanding the practical applications of filtration systems with respect to the design and engineering concepts. Future engineers, future environmentalists. It's important for them to experience it firsthand and talk to those who are in the field at the present time. I want to congratulate also students at Thorntons Ferry, two students in particular, Owen Arp and Lucas Lambert. Well, Owen and Lucas became engaged in a project-based learning activity at school, and they designed a whole week's worth of activities for students, a winter fun week that involved activities both inside the school and outside the school. And that took an incredible amount of work, and I want to congratulate Owen and Lucas on their outstanding job. I've seen pictures of the projects that they have designed and put together for all of their other students and their staff in the building. That's leadership at a very young age. And we're looking forward to great things from Owen and Lucas in the future also, and congratulate them for taking the initiative to put together a program, a week's program of activities for students and staff. Back to the middle school again, we want to congratulate the middle school concert band. They will be performing in April with the New Hampshire Band Directors Association Middle Level Honor Band Festival at Pinkerton Academy. May 5th, also 7 members of the concert band, the middle school concert band, and 2 members of the middle school chorus will be performing at the South Central District Honor Band Chorus Festival at Lurgio Middle School in Bedford. Merrimack has had the largest number of participants in some of these festivals of any school district in New Hampshire. That requires great teachers who encourage, who inspire, who motivate and believe in students, and it also requires great students from wonderful families who are passionate about music. It's not all about reading, math, literacy, science, social studies. The arts are extraordinarily important, are an extraordinarily important way for a child to express themselves. I always have cringed when I've heard people years ago, when I was a superintendent in another district in Massachusetts, sometimes there was talk about cutting art and music at the elementary level. Well, art and music are oftentimes ways for students to express themselves, when perhaps their vocabulary and their ability to interact and express themselves is maybe not as honed as sharply and as acutely as could be, but they're able to communicate well and communicate effectively and express themselves, express their creativity through art and music. It's all part of a sound, quality, comprehensive education. Well, moving somewhat away from the students and over to our staff and general school operations, this is the time of year. We're filming this in early April, and I should say that we've had a string of very nice days in spring to this point in time. And as of this filming, tomorrow, the state of New Hampshire is expecting anywhere from 3 to 1.5 feet of snow. And hate to say it, hate to see it, but that's New England, and we'll deal with it. Fortunately, as the old saying goes, it'll melt this quickly this time of year since we are in the beginning of April. So stay tuned, and we'll see about making a decision on whether or not we have school tomorrow in Merrimack, which would be Thursday, April 4th, as of this filming. This is the time of year that we are conducting evaluations of staff done by our principals and assistant principals. I do the evaluation of our principals. The principals do the evaluations of assistant principals. Keeping in mind that evaluation instruments, evaluation rubrics, the evaluation process is the accountability measure, not only in education, but any other organization, public or private, in the world. Employee evaluations are done to not only take a look at a person's technical capabilities in this profession, their content capabilities, but also their interpersonal skills, how they connect with students, how they relate to students, how they connect and relate to their colleagues. It's all part of culture, and culture is extraordinarily important to any organization. You've heard me say that previously several times. We want to make sure that we have teachers who are technically competent, and we do. We have excellent, excellent teachers. We have excellent paraprofessionals also who work with our students day in and day out. And I'm pleased to say that in only a very, very few cases do we have to make a difficult decision about a person who may perhaps not find this to be probably the most perfect match for their skills and their interests in general. And so sometimes you have to have a difficult conversation, but it's the appropriate conversation to have. But I will say 99.9% of our staff have excellent evaluations because they're well trained and they possess, and you've heard me say this before, they possess what I like to refer to as my 8 Ps. My 8 Ps of successful educators, and that's they possess great preparation, they possess great pride, and pride is in here and separates great staff members from average staff members, okay? And we hire and retain great staff members. So we've got preparation, pride, professionalism. Are they professional at all times in what they say, what they do, how they do it, when they don't do something and when they should say something, when they shouldn't say something? It's all part of professionalism, okay? The next one is passion. Is this profession where their true passion is, and is Merrimack where their true passion is? I want that passion to be channeled towards working with children day in and day out, knowing that every single day could be the day when a person makes the difference in the life of a child. So we get preparation, pride, professionalism, passion, patience, and persistence. We're all different, as I've said before to you, which makes us all the same. The key is to try and find out where each child's skill level is through assessments, through observations. You know, a teacher can learn an awful lot just by sitting down and talking with a child. That patience and persistence is extraordinarily important in making sure that every child crosses the finish line. Nobody left behind. Everybody has to cross the finish line, maybe at different rates, but everyone's going to make it. And that's our pledge to you. We want to make sure that nobody's lost, nobody falls between the cracks here, and that we work with students. I want every teacher to inspire and motivate, encourage every student, to believe in every student, to get to know them, to connect with them. Because if I were to ask you right now, and I'm going to ask you, take 5 seconds. You have no more than 5 seconds to think about a favorite teacher that you had in life. You probably don't remember that teacher for their content knowledge, although some of you will, but you remember that teacher about their ability to connect with you, to make you feel special, to make you feel as if they actually cared about you as a person and the progress that you were making in their class, that they did try to inspire and motivate and encourage you. And that's extraordinarily important. That means everything to students. It meant everything to you and I when we were in school, because I could name you one of my favorite teachers instantaneously, because that person exhibited that trust, that respect, that being inspiring and motivating and encouraging, and that person connected with me. And the same thing with you. So every so often, think about that. Think about the favorite teacher you had in life and how to this day that teacher still remains with you in terms of what they contributed to your life and your experience in school. So we've got preparation, pride, professionalism, passion, patience, persistence, personality. We want to make sure that teachers engage effectively with our students. Okay? That I look for people who wake up in the morning looking at the world as if the glass is not half full, but 3/4 full, and they're going to fill it for their students during the course of the day. Keeping in mind, once again, every single day is a day that you could make a life-altering experience in the life of a child. And the last P is performance. You know, talk gets us no place in life, it's performance. What do we actually do that counts? And those 8 Ps are very important. And so, getting back to the evaluations, we're evaluating the staff, and glad to say that a vast majority of them have excellent evaluations because they're excellent educators. And I am in the process right now of reviewing and evaluating our principals. That's my responsibility. See, the evaluation process is an accountability measure. It has to contain the motivation and the orientation of accountability of an employee to an organization and to their students, but also the evaluation process has to represent a certain degree of psychological safety. And by that I mean we try to make sure that the evaluation process for everyone is a growth-oriented process. We try to find the good and work with that, and we continue to try and motivate and inspire the staff. Okay, and we find out what it might be that some might be struggling with, but we also find out what the strong points of each staff member are and build upon that and transfer that to others within the organization. It's all part of creating a strong, trusting, respectful, growth-oriented culture, and that's extraordinarily important. A couple of important dates coming up next week. April 8th, Monday, April 8th, is an extraordinary event in that it is a total solar eclipse. We have provided our students with viewing glasses. The important thing, though, is to make sure that you speak with your child to make sure that they don't remove them during an eclipse. That could cause serious damage to their eyes, so that they will all be able to view the eclipse safely with those particular glasses. Our teachers will be talking to the students about the phenomenon of a solar eclipse. You know, it happens once in a great while. I believe our next total solar eclipse in North America, if I recall correctly, it will be in 2045, so just over 20 years from now. So it's an interesting phenomenon with the sun traveling between the sun and the earth. The totality will be across the northern parts of New Hampshire and Maine, in particular, just citing those 2 states. It's important for those students who are very young, and our teachers have mentioned this to them, and I ask that you probably mention it to them also, that there will be a period of darkness on Monday, not to be afraid of that. It's just something that happens in the astronomical world, as we say, and that is something that is to be appreciated and respected. And the fact that it only happens a very short amount of time, and we are very fortunate in this part of the country to have quite a degree of totality, even south of those of the pathway of the total eclipse in northern New Hampshire, Vermont, and Maine. So we're looking forward to that. It's always an interesting phenomenon, and there are various ways to safely view an eclipse, both with the glasses, but also those of you who are a little bit older, remember the old box approach to you find an empty box, put a hole in the back of it with a piece of white paper inside the box. You put it over your head, resting on your shoulders, and you orient yourself so that the sun projects through that hole in the back of the box onto that white piece of paper. It actually is a very effective way of watching the transition of the eclipse from start to finish. And so think about that. Those of you who are my age, vintage, or adults who might have grown up using that technique, I'm going to ask you to try that out again, because it's an effective way of looking at an eclipse. And on Tuesday, once again, is the town's election day. There are warrant articles that pertain to the school district that are very important. I'm not here to ask you or tell you how to vote. You can make up your own mind. The only thing I'll say is we're a school district on the move in a positive direction. I hope you have been pleased with what we've been able to do in the last couple of years. You will see the results over the next several years, because things don't change overnight, but you will see the results in terms of improved scores in literacy, in math, and science of our students. We are working very carefully and very diligently to improve our curriculum. We have the absolutely essential prerequisites in place, and that is an excellent teaching and support staff. They're in place. It's our responsibility to give them the materials, the supplies, the professional development, the training, to make sure that teachers are presenting the curriculum consistently across the district. And that's one of the big changes that we've been working on, is bringing consistency of instruction to all students, so that all students have the same opportunities across the district, and they're not different. We've made the curriculum more relevant, more up-to-date, meeting the state standards, because curriculum can't be aging in nature. It just simply cannot be, because we do a great disservice to our students. So with that, with curriculum changes, with our alternative program to graduation, our Pathways program that we implemented this year for the first time at the high school, keeping in mind that we have 16 students enrolled in that program, 12 of whom are seniors, and 12 of whom will be receiving a diploma, who otherwise would be a dropout of Merrimack High School, and we're extraordinarily proud of that. That's a program that, when I first started here, we had conversations with the high school administration, and there was no program, such as the Pathways to Graduation program. And there's where my philosophy is that we can't expect all students to adapt and adjust to the traditional model that's been in place for over 100 years in education. We have to understand completely where our students are, what they respond to, what inspires and motivates them to learn, and adjust what we're doing to those needs. And that's what we've done with this program. So I hope you've been pleased with what we've been doing, because we're going to continue to improve this school district to try and make it the best in the state of New Hampshire. And with that, my promise to you is that we will always seek to increase the return on investment and give you a very worthwhile and meaningful return on investment of your tax dollars invested in the school department in particular. I take that seriously. My obligation is to our students. My obligation is also to you, who pay the expenses of educating children in this district. So look at our warrant articles carefully. I will say once again, as I've said in school board meetings in the past, the most important thing is for you as a voter to have accurate, honest information upon which to base your vote. Whether you vote for something or against something, I'm a real stickler for making sure that voters have the correct information. If you have any questions on any of the warrant articles that pertain to the school district, please call me or please come in, and I'll be glad to provide you with any and all data that you need to make an informed decision. I owe that to you because you are paying the bill for not only municipal services in general, but for the school department. And I want to make sure that you're pleased with the return on your tax expenditures. All right. With that being said, I look forward to the eclipse. We look forward to the election. Hope you have a great upcoming weekend. This is Bill Olson. Look forward to seeing you next time.